Hi there, welcome to my views and news. Two news stories. First, it seems that Eritrean opposition is in trouble. Eritrean opposition could never unite under one command for one organization to stand up to Eritrean government. Eritrean government also tried to divide opposition groups. But one group emerged last year as a strong opposition group. It registered its influence across the world. Even Eritrean government felt threatened, I think. But today was a sad day for this Eritrean opposition group. Secondly, delivery of weapons from Ethiopia to Puntland, alleged delivery of weapons. Somalia issued a statement about that. What is Ethiopia saying? What about Puntland? Any response from Puntland about the claim made by Somalia's Ministry of Foreign Affairs about delivery of weapons from Ethiopia to Puntland? Let's start with the first story, which is about Eritrean opposition. As I said earlier, Eritrean opposition groups are not united. None of them is based in Eritrea. They're based in mostly Western countries, Canada, US, and Americans. Others have been backing these opposition groups. That's why they sometimes find it hard to be accepted in Eritrean diaspora because they are backed by Westerners, and they have been in contact with your State Department too for years, but they could never mobilize a common diaspora Eritrean against Eritrean government. More than a year ago, an Eritrean opposition group emerged, which managed to activate diaspora Eritrean groups against Eritrean government. Youths mainly were members of this diaspora movement called Brigade N. Brigade N, the people in a short period of time managed to gain international attention because they started in Europe, but gradually they expanded to other continents too, different countries of Europe, in US, Canada, Israel, Ethiopia. They were seen struggling against Eritrean government. They adopted violent means to stop Eritrean government-backed programs, festivals, etc. If you remember, last year I said that this strategy of use of force by Brigade Hamido is untenable, hard to defend, hard to continue with. I said it would have repercussions for Brigade Hamido people. Back then, some viewers disagreed with me. Europe, America, Canada, they don't want any conflicts on their streets. Yes, they back the opposition groups, but it does not mean that they would allow their countries to be battleground for Eritrean diaspora groups. So they were not happy with the attacks by Brigade Hamza people. And by the way, most of the collisions between Eritrean pro-government and Brigade Nihama, the groups were initiated by Brigade Nihama. BN. BN always said that it would resort to all means to stop Eritrean government-backed programs. So it then attacked festivals, it attacked meetings. Incidents happened across Europe: Sweden, Norway, Netherlands, Belgium, UK, then Canada, US, Israel, in several other countries. BN people and pro-government communities clashed. Scores of people have been killed and injured irreparably in these clashes. John Black was one of the main Brigade N leaders. His real name is Johannes Abreha, but he was known as John Black. He used to release messages, social media messages, video messages to mobilize his people. In February this year, in the Netherlands, The Hague, Eritrean groups clashed. Brigade N and pro-Eritrean government people. Police tried to prevent the clash. Police also suffered. When the clash erupted, police officials were injured too. Several vehicles were set on fire. Hague turned into a battle zone. And then the local authorities started legal proceedings. John Black was charged with inciting violence. He was arrested. A court in Hague has given a verdict. John Black, Johannes Abreha, has been sentenced to 4 years imprisonment. Two other Brigade N people have been sentenced to 7-month imprisonment each. It's a sad day for this Eritrean opposition movement. 750,000 euros damages also happened when cars were burnt, when police officers were injured. They also filed claims for damages. In coming days, the court will release a verdict about these damages too. So these people, John Black told us, they'll have to pay damages too. Brigade Hamado went quiet in recent months. It did not launch any attacks. It realized that the strategy was untenable. But I think it realized late. It should have realized at the very start of this movement that this movement should not be seen as a violent movement. So now, Brigade of the People trying to distance themselves from agitational and confrontationist and protests. But now BN people are facing legal challenges, cases in some other countries too. BN will have to review its strategy. BN is seeing some internal splits too. I'll do a video someday on that. Secondly, viewers, did Puntland receive weapons from Ethiopia? Because 3 days ago, Somalia's federal government issued a statement. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Somalia issued a statement saying that Ethiopia sent 2 lorries full of weapons to Puntland and that delivery of weapons was illegal, unauthorized. So far, complete silence on Ethiopian side. Ethiopia did not care to reject these claims. Either Ethiopia has no evidence or Ethiopia will issue a statement in coming days. Puntland has rejected the federal government of Somalia's claims. Aidid is a minister in Puntland, Minister of Regional Government of Puntland, and he categorically rejected the claims made by the federal government of Somalia. He said Puntland did not receive any weapons from Ethiopia. He talked about delivery of weapons from Egypt to Somalia. Egypt is sending large quantities of weapons to Somalia. Mogadishu port very busy these days. Puntland says that the potential misuse of Egyptian weapons by the federal government of Somalia could destabilize Somalia and the region. Puntland is not happy with the delivery of Egyptian weapons to Somalia. This is the situation in Somalia, that regional states are opposing the delivery of weapons from Egypt to Somalia. That's why I always say that Somalia must do serious work to bridge the gaps and solve the issues between the federal government and regional governments. Regional governments are very strong. They make their own foreign policy. They enter into contacts with neighboring countries. They develop diplomatic ties to independent of Mogadishu. Mogadishu will have to exercise its authority over entire Somalia, but through dialogue. Just now, arms embargo lifted. If Somalia's federal government starts military operation in regional states, that would further destabilize the country. Hassan Sheikh will have to be very calculated and restrained in his approach to bring about a change in terms of reconciliation, in terms of engagement between the federal government and regional